Hey guys, good morning, everybody. Happy Tuesday. Today is Tuesday, November 1st. So happy first of the month to you guys as well. It is 6:21 right now. Market's going to open in about 9 minutes. So I'm going to go ahead and set up this room real quick, and then we can get started shortly. So just give me a few moments to finish setting this up. And we should be good to go. All right, a couple more things here. Man, I hate when YouTube like updates everything and doesn't even give you like notice because like everything's different here and I got to figure everything out again. All right, so a couple of things here to update. It's good. Solid. That's good. All right. Looks like we're good to go. Let me get this link sent out to you guys here in the premium. All right, cool. I'll give it a few moments for people to make their way in. So as most of you guys can see here, I have a Forex trade that's open right now. What I might do is I'm not going to officially call signals, but I'll call the Forex trades that I get into. I'm just applying like the basic intraday strategy here on the 1 hour. And, I did pretty good from Asia session last night. A lot of these entries I'm just setting and forgetting. So I'm just taking them and then I'm letting them run. So you can see for this position, this one actually closed out. It shows I'm in profit about 400. I took this trade here, hit my full TP, and I took this trade here. I just let it run. It's a super basic strategy. I mean, you're just matching trend meter with the momentum signal. The basic intraday strategy on the 1 hour. Hit both of these, hit full TP, and then I locked in about like 800 or close to I think 900 overnight, just like set and forget entries. So I think I'll share these entries with you guys, and then if I want to call signals at some point, maybe I'll go back to calling signals for Forex pairs because these are like easy entries to take to just set and forget. I mean, you're just matching trend meter with your momentum indicator, and also it's a lot easier because we have the swing high-low indicator where you can identify the stop loss point. So as you can see right here, this one's pretty deep in profit, but it already closed out. It just hasn't updated yet. And this is my live account. It's a small account, about 10,000 on the account. So I'm taking about a 3% risk per trade. So per trade that I take, it's for a 1-to-1. Making about like 300, 400, somewhere around there. So not too bad. Hey, Peter, good morning. So as people join into the room, I will go ahead and mark up the SR zones over here real quick, just so that we can have an idea where these zones are sitting. And we will move forward with this. Hey, Maria, morning. All right, so I think that's it for these zones right here. I'm just going to stretch this one out a little further. Go with that one. Solid. Morning, Pat. Morning, Stern. Morning, everybody. So, guys, happy first of the month. Today is Tuesday, November 1st. We'll see how the market moves. Typically, first of the month, end of the month is usually a little iffy. But I don't know, we'll see. Maybe the market will move a bit smoother than it did yesterday. So I've marked up all of the zones right here. I'm gonna go ahead and mark up the overall bias or overall direction at least. So let's see, sentiment right now is currently 71% short. All right, 71% short. Fundamentals are currently 205 points in the green. Short. 200 points, right? Yeah. 200 points. See, the 4-hour trend is currently, it's currently neutral right now. It's bullish neutral. The 1-hour is currently, oh, sorry, I gotta adjust this. I was kind of playing around with this too on the other time frame, but I'm pretty sure the 4-hour is actually bullish. Yeah, so 4 hours bullish, 1 hour is bullish, 30-minute is bullish, 15-minute bullish, 10-minute also bullish. So we have a very strong bullish bias today for the breakout. If we get a bullish entry, possible entry, well, we'll see you know how we decide to take that later. We have another zone down here. So guys, if you guys are just joining the room, I was mentioning that I've been taking Forex trades. I mean, whenever I see them, I just take them. And I might start like sharing my entries with you guys. Like I'm not going to call official signals, at least just not yet. I'm just applying the basic intraday strategy here. And I took 2 trades last night. I let them run. You can see this one, it looks like it's still running, but technically it did close. I locked in a full TP of 391. Here it shows that my active profit is running at 370, but I already closed out of this. It just hasn't updated. I'm just applying the basic intraday strategy. You know, trend meter down here is set to intraday settings. So this is actually not the proper settings. Proper settings are supposed to be set to this right here, but it still lines up. So basically, I took these entries here. They hit full TP. Took this one full TP, this one full TP. There's a couple other ones that are still running, like GJ over here. These over here hit full TP. This one and this one. So when I take these trades, I will call them, just to share them with you guys. Maybe eventually I'll bring back signals because these are like easy trades to take. I just take them, set and forget them. I'm not even doing partial TPs anymore. I'm just letting them run to full TP. So we'll see. And I'll call like the trades that I'm taking, moving forward. So we'll see how that goes. But anyways, back to US30 over here. Overall direction is bullish. So you can see retail sentiment 71% short, fundamentals 200 points in the green. 4 hour, 1 hour, 30-minute, 15-minute, and 10-minute are all bullish. So if we get a buy over here for the breakout, it'll probably play out pretty solid. If anything, I might take it for a partial move. I don't know if I'll take it for the full move because it's a pretty big move to cash. Volatility has been kind of low. I mean, it's been decent, but not really like super high as you'd expect. So I'm probably going to be looking only for buys today. Overall bias right here is super bullish. So I'm probably only going to be looking for trades going in the upwards direction. We also have the sessions down here, so it's a bit risky for us to take anyways. And I also believe there was news today too. So here is the opening candle. If you get a strong red candle, that will technically be the breakout. But as I mentioned, overall bias here is so strong for a buy. So I'm probably not looking to take any sells today. So in order for you to take this entry here for a buy, for the breakout, you would need a buy signal to come up. So until there's a buy signal, you wouldn't be able to take the breakout here. I also think there was news this morning too. So this morning there was news actually there's no news yet, but it's coming up at about 6:45. So 6:45, high impact news. I think trading view is frozen, or it's lagging like really bad. Actually, no, it's moving. It's just really blocky. So a lot of blocky movements here. Still no buy signal, so no entry. I mean, even if you wanted. So news here at 6:45. And also news over here at 7. All right, so price is kind of just bouncing around opening price right here. If you get a strong red candle again, this would technically be the breakout, but I'm not looking to take any sells today. It's bouncing again right here, right off the sessions. So you're going to be very careful about taking any sells here, especially at this point. I'll mark it up if it comes up, and I'm not taking it. The overall bias here is just too strong for a buy. So I'm definitely not looking to take any sells. If this closes here with a buy signal, this could technically be the breakout. So no buy signal there. No sell either for the breakout because this here was not a strong red candle and it's right at the sessions. I'm going to go here to the clean chart market structure so that you guys can see how the market's moving. It's not really moving directional at all. It's actually going pretty sideways. And it's been super choppy this morning. So as you guys can see, there's a lot of liquidity sitting up top. So I think when price finally does make its way up there, it's going to knock right through it. So as you can see right here, price isn't going anywhere. It's just going sideways. But if it does shoot up like it does here, this could possibly be the breakout. And with that breakout, it could probably blast through all of the liquidity up top. So if we do get a buy here for the breakout, I might take it for a partial move. I'm probably not going to take it for the full move because as you can see here, it's not a smooth move at all. Huge wicks on both sides. These candles here are pretty big. Still no entry for the breakout at about 2 minutes left till 6:35. But yeah, you can see right here, it's starting to knock through all of the liquidity, right? Marked up liquidity right here, blasted right through it. Still got a ways to go up here. So if this closes with a green buy signal, this would technically be the breakout for today. Hey Kenny, morning. All right, you got about 20 seconds left on this candle right here. Still bouncing around, no buy signal, so still no confirmation of the breakout. But as you guys can see, this thing is kind of messy. All right, still no breakout off this. There is a buy signal here, but it's not it didn't close, plus it wasn't a strong green candle. So here we go again. Price makes another attempt to it. And you can see where price is going. It's going absolutely nowhere, right? So you guys can see over here, it's not really doing too much. It's kind of just bouncing around. It came and tested liquidity right here. I didn't actually blast right through it. It's still in this this range. So if I draw the range right here, you guys can see that it's not really doing too much. It's really just bouncing around here. There goes it, blast right through it again. This will possibly be the breakout entry. Again, I'm not looking to take it. I might take it for a partial move, but I'm not looking to take the full move here. Just for the fact that this candle here is just a little too big. So again, it didn't close. So this is why you got to wait for the candle to close. It had a buy signal. The candle was like way up here. Then all of a sudden it pulled down and it did not close. So there's no breakout for today. It's currently 6:35. So there's no breakout. I mean, you wouldn't really want to take a trade anyways, because you can see from all these candles here, it's not a smooth move. It had like a small little drop right here, and then just this erratic back and forth movement. So unfortunately for today, no breakout. We'll keep watching for another entry here. There's no high-low quick scalps that we can take. There's no SR rejection entries. There's not really much for us to take here at all. It's right at the actually there might be an SR rejection scalp right here. But the way that these candles are moving, I'm probably just going to skip it. We'll see how it closes. We got about 10 seconds left on this candle. It's just moving back and forth too much, where I'm worried that at the last second, price might just spike down like it's doing right now, right? It was like way up here, and then now it's way back down here. So no SR rejection entry right there. I'm going to clean this up a little bit. You know, I'll leave this up here so that you guys can see the retest of the liquidity up here, because it just keeps retesting this area. But anyways, it just pulls right back down into this range. So it was in this range earlier and then just pulls right back down to it. The range is actually right here. So it's in a pretty big range, but it just keeps going back and forth. So I would probably just wait for this to stabilize a bit, because you can see how it's moving back and forth. I mean, like at the last very second, it can close, or it can be looking like a good trade, and the last second, it can just pull right back. So there's a possible SR rejection scalp right here if this closes with a buy signal, but the trend meter here is changing as well. You can see it's going from like green to blue, back to blue, so no entry there, no buy signal. Yeah, still nothing here at the moment. What a messy Tuesday, right? I was hoping the market would smoothen out, but you guys got to keep in mind that it's still NFP. So this whole week might be like this until like maybe tomorrow, Thursday. If NFP is not smooth on Monday, it's usually, it picks back up on Wednesday and it continues to be choppy, you know, Monday, Tuesday. This is kind of how it was in October. So first week of October, NFP, this is kind of what happened, right? Market was kind of like all over the place first couple of days, and then it started to pick back up, you know, Wednesday. It's like first week of October. All right. It's going back to that date. And Telegram's always been kind of weird lately. I'll scroll up, it's probably faster. Yeah. So you can see right here, this was an NFP of last month. On Monday, we had one entry. Tuesday, we had a stop loss hit. Wednesday, full TP. Thursday, full TP. Friday, full TP. So like the weird day was Tuesday for NFP last week. This is pretty normal for NFP. You know, yesterday was kind of weird. Today's moving kind of weird too. But if that's the case, it just, you know, it's just the same thing every month. So if you guys have traded NFP in the past or this NFP week, you know, we have all the data here. You can check NFP for like every month. And you'll see that usually Monday and Wednesday are usually iffy. If they're not good, then they're typically iffy. As you can see right here, this is obviously not good conditions. Price is pretty much just going back and forth. Here's a range that I drew earlier, and you guys can see the huge wicks on both sides. There's like literally no direction. Price just going back and forth. I'm going to go and mark up opening price right here. And then what I'm going to do here as well is I'm going to clean this up a little bit, so that you guys can see things a bit better. So 630, 7, and 8. Actually, I'll leave this up here for a little bit so that you guys can see where price keeps rejecting off. It pretty much comes up, blasts through this liquidity here, just keeps going back and forth, and then it comes right back down. This is the blue line is where market opened from, so it hasn't really gone anywhere. But if you can see from here, yeah, let me just clean it up so you guys can see it better. There's just no direction. So I'll take this off, clean this up a little bit. Market opened right here at 630. You guys can see how choppy it's been. And there's just still no direction as of now. We have a pending buy signal here. Overall, I think price eventually is going to push up higher. I don't know exactly when, but it does look like it's going to push up higher because the overall bias is so strong. So we got price pushing up right here. Thanks, Maddie. Maddie said we got a pending buy signal here on the 5-minute. So if that's the case, this thing might push up higher. This could also possibly be the the daily for the 5. So we'll come back and take a look at it, but you can see from here on the 1-minute, price is still not doing anything. It's bouncing back and forth, still no buy signal. See, each candle is moving about, it's not even moving that much, moving about like 200 pips or 300, I guess, if you want to round up. So each candle, including wick, is moving about like 300 pips, which is not a crazy amount. Trend meter down below is red. It's not much going on. I mean, price is literally going sideways. If you guys can, it's kind of hard to see here on the clean chart, but realistically, price is just ranging between this high and this low right here. It's actually been ranging for a while. If you go back far enough. Or you can even go back really far. If you go back over here, price has actually been ranging for a long time. It's been ranging since like London session. There's been fake outs in both directions. So it's been back here since like 1 a.m. So 1 a.m. today, price kind of broke into this range, faked out below, came back into it, faked out above, came back into it. And it's literally been down here since 1 a.m. So for the past 6 hours, price has been within this range here. The range here isn't even that big. It's only 700 pips. So it's a 700 pip range, and it just keeps cutting back into it. Here we go again. Price is coming back and retesting opening price. You can see how many times price has come around and tested it. It's tested it a bunch of times right down here. Or you can just look down this this zone. So you want to be careful about taking these entries. I would probably just sit out, guys. I mean, if you guys really don't have to like take anything right now, I would just sit out and wait for this to move. Market is open, or not opening. It's gonna news is gonna happen right now in about 2 minutes. Hopefully news will push price away from where it's currently at, because we need price to get away from the zone here. Price has been within here for too long. We basically need price to push outside or below. So either above, continue up higher, or below, and then continue on lower, right? Either way, I mean, this is kind of what we're looking for here, one way or the other. We just don't want price to be stuck within here, because if it does, it's just going to keep ranging back and forth forever, basically, until it finally gets out. So we got news coming up here in about 1 minute. See if there's anything else here that's updated. Fundamentals are still up 200 points. CNBC, see if there's any news today. No. Yeah, I don't really see anything here too crazy. So price still isn't doing anything. News is coming up in about 10 seconds. We'll see how price moves from here. Hopefully it pushes it out of it. If this news event doesn't push it out of it, the 7 o'clock one probably will, because it's high impact inflation news. So it's inflation news and I think Joel's job opening. So it's going to be pretty high impact. Here goes. Price starts to push a little lower. There we go. Let's finally push it outside of this area here. Mark this up as news price. So it is a 645 US news price. And there he goes. Price dumps down super heavy. I wouldn't chase this drop right here, guys, because it's probably going to correct back up. I'm pretty sure the news is negative. I mean, obviously, I'm not expecting news here to be positive at all. So it's doing exactly what we anticipated or what we wanted to happen. You can see right here at 645, this was a final manufacturing PMI. It was positive news. Positive news, price dropped. I think it's going to correct back up. So I think this here is just temporary push to the bottom. This here was just, obvious manipulation. I wouldn't recommend chasing it, though. It's rejecting directly off the sessions right here. So I might make a correction right back up. So it did what we wanted. It pushed out of the area here, out of this range. But what we need now is we need price to actually continue, right? So we had price push below, looking for that retracement and continuation below. So this is why it's important that you guys have to avoid news, because if you guys trade during news, you could have either been on the bright side or on the wrong side. And the wrong side would have been pretty painful, right? Because this thing spiked down. News candle was right here. And price spiked down. I mean, not a huge amount, but it's still about 1,000 pips. So it still would have hit your stop loss or TP, depending on, you know, what side of the market you're on. Either way, I mean, you'd probably be looking for sells because obvious reasons here. But the entry wouldn't skip. So this is actually, if you look at this candle here could have been a SR rejection scalp. However, it was right at opening price, so you wouldn't be able to take it. So we have wick rejection right here, trend meter is red, momentum for sells right there. Could have entered this right here for a short, and that would have been a full TP. But we, you know, we still got to play it safe here. So red flag right there, opening price, would have just skipped it. Here goes, price continues to swing back up. There goes the correction I was just telling you about. So price came down, rejected directly off the sessions. Now it's making a bit of a swing back up. Yes, that's the 29% of the market is really happy, I hope. Yeah, if they were actually in it. So it's still right there. It's still at 71%. So it looks like, I mean, they didn't really pull out. They kind of just held on to it. So the thing with the 71%, guys, is that they could have been holding on from like Sunday, right? Or from like last week. Even though it dropped right here, if they're like long-term holders, if you look at the chart over here, like if they were holding from Friday for a sell, which they probably were, they're still in some massive drawdown. Right, Seth? So like, it's been like 60 to 70% since like Friday. So a lot of the people who are in that sell or like in the short side, they're actually holding from like way down here from like last week. So they've been holding since like Friday. So they're still in some massive drawdown. So that's why they're not really pulling out of the position, right? They're just in some massive drawdown over here because they probably entered sometime last week where the price was down here. And they're still in some drawdown for about, yeah, like 11,000 pips, right? But those are probably like long-term holders. Like they're holding it with like a very, very small lot size, and they're probably down like maybe a couple of thousand bucks, but they're in massive drawdown because prices actually it hasn't been this high since, I don't know, I can't remember. Yeah, like we'd have to go back super far. Oops. The hell? Why did it change? It's weird. Okay, so price actually hasn't been this high since like September or August. So the only people who are really making money right now are people who entered like in August and held on to it since like August 16, right? If anyone entered these sells like, you know, last week or anytime in October, they're in massive drawdown because price has been like this low and they're just holding on to it. It's like 40,000 pips, 44,000 pips in drawdown. So just because the number here is high, this doesn't mean that all these people are actually in profit, right? They're just holding and praying that it's going to come down, but they're probably in massive drawdown because they don't want to pull out. You know, that's where the emotions get involved because you can see right here, this number has been high for like, if you guys have been on the live session with me, it's been like over 60% for like the past month, 2 months now. So a lot of people who are actually in these sells are not in profit. So just FYI, don't like think that just because, you know, price dropped like 1,000 pips, they're going to be like massively in profit. The only people who are in profit are people who actually sold right here, which are probably not that many people because this number here hasn't changed. I checked this pre-market. It's been the same, like 71, 72% since. You can see it dropped down to 70% because it looks like some people actually pulled out of it. Like they saw the drop there, they covered their losses and they just pulled out. So something to keep in mind there, guys. This is long-term. That's why I use this as the as a long-time direction indicator, right? Because if you look at this here, I mean, some of these people can be holding this for months, I mean, even years in some instances. We're just using, you know, this as their platform, the IG broker. So that's why you tie this in with fundamentals, right? You tie this in with the fundamentals over here so that when they align and line up, it'll help you really understand where price is going, because this will show you where price is moving for today, right? If it's up 199 points, this means that a lot of people are actually buying today. This number over here shows people who've been holding for days, weeks, months, years. So you tie this in with this, and then you get the medium, the intermediate direction. You time technicals over here, and then you get the short term. So that's why for here, we have everything lining up for a buy. We got people holding sells. Fundamentals are up. Overall trend is super bullish. So that's why I'm looking for this to swing its way back up. Let's go to the 10-minute. 10 minutes actually bearish now after that drop. I don't think this will hold though. I think price will eventually come back up. Or it might drop a little bit. And then it might just come back up. Because that drop right there is just a random drop based off news. It wasn't really random, it was based off news. All right, but if price continues to drop right here, that's perfectly fine. We'll look for some entries down below. The only problem here is that we're right at the sessions. So we need price to push away from this area. We also have news coming up over here at 7. The 7 o'clock news is actually going to be the really, really high impact news. So I think price will bounce. Look for this news event that comes up at 7. It's very high impact. We have ISM manufacturing, PMI, inflation news, and JOLTS job openings. This JOLTS job opening is going to show how many job openings are currently available here in the US. So this is going to really show, where the economy is sitting. I'm pretty sure both of these are going to be negative. But with both of them being negative, we can probably expect this to spike back up. Even though it's negative news, I'm expecting it to go in the opposite direction. Similar to this right here, right? This was positive news, price dropped. But this could be a little bit tricky. So for the JOLTS job openings, this is a little biased during the holidays because it is October right now. We're actually November. We have a lot of seasonal jobs that are coming out, right? So you got to keep that in mind. We're going to the holidays, there's seasonal jobs. So there's going to be a lot of job openings, but they're not like long-term jobs, right? That's something that you want to keep in mind as well, because this could be positive, but I mean, realistically, people are still getting laid off for the, with the recession upcoming. So, I mean, we'll have to see where that goes. But from my perspective, I think the economy is not doing well. And I'm pretty sure everyone has the same perspective as well, which is why I expect price to continue to be manipulated even higher. Here's the Forex entries over here still running. GJ right there and some drawdown. The CAD full TP. So I'll come back to this. I typically take these FX entries later on in the day. All right, it's about to be 7 o'clock in about 6 minutes. This is going to be the next news event. So we can't take any entries right here, which is completely fine because price is right at, it's right at the sessions anyways. Let me just zoom through these FX pairs real quick to see if there's any entries here that I would take. And if you guys are just joining, as I mentioned that I've been taking these Forex pairs, I'm just taking trades that align with the intraday strategy. So nothing crazy. I mentioned that, if and when I do take trades, I'll share them. They're not going to be official signals because, I'm still not in the swing of like taking Forex trades yet, but I will share them so that you guys can follow them with me. There's actually no entry here. There's no FX pairs to enter right now. Completely fine. Back to US30, you can see US30, it kind of faked out below. I think what's going to happen here, or what did happen, is price will fake out below here since price is at the sessions, and then it'll just shoot right back up. I think they'll just lure in some more sellers right here. Once we get to that news event right here at 7, I think this is going to correct right back up to where it was earlier. I'm expecting at least this much of a correction to half of this red candle. I mean, it's up to you how you guys want to use that information, but it's kind of where I see it going. So we'll see in the next 4 minutes or so. See, the fundamentals are back down to 90. I'm not going to mess with it. I'm going to leave it alone because when news happens in the next couple of minutes, I might push price around. See, Supreme Court temporarily blocks Trump tax records from being given to Congress. Man, that's crazy that they're still going over like, I mean, we're still like, fixated on Trump and his tax records. I mean, I guess, they're probably going to try to squeeze some money out of him, but it's crazy. It's crazy how Trump is still, I mean, a lot of the stuff that he did when he was president is still like super, super relevant. I don't see that stuff happen with like Biden and stuff. Well, we'll see. All right, so I don't think that news is going to affect the market. This news right here at 7 o'clock is going to, though. So we'll see how price goes. I do see a correction back up, at least a little bit. I'm expecting news to be negative on both sides. So yeah, I'm expecting IC manufacturing PMI. Yeah, so if you guys always wonder like what these news events are, you can just click on it and then you can see over here, what it is. So like for the IC manufacturing PMI, this is going to be level of diffusion index based on surveyed purchasing managers in the manufacturing industry. So like basically, manufacturing companies, they'll explain whether, things are doing well or doing not well. And why traders care. It shows it's a leading indicator to economic health. So like this is why it's super, super important because it deals with inflation, right? If inflation is up, people won't be manufacturing so much. There's going to be a shortage of things. Joel's job openings over here are also important because this is going to indicate how the economy is also doing based on overall employment. So it says it measures the number of job openings during the reported month, excluding the farming industry. So I'm expecting this here to possibly be positive. As I mentioned, we're going to the holidays, so people are hiring for seasonal workers. And we'll see where that goes. News is going to come up in about 40 seconds. So let's see where it goes from here. I mean, regardless of the fact, there's no entries for us to take anyway, so it's not like you're missing anything. There's like really nothing going on right now. Clean that up a little bit there. This zone over here is adjusted a little bit. Got about 10 seconds left. Price is actually spiking down pretty heavy off the news. Or I don't know, it's lagging on if you guys are looking at MT4 and looking at TradingView, it's like super off right now. TradingView is off by like at least a couple seconds. If you guys are looking at both right now, price is actually like way down here. So yeah, I would probably be careful about taking any entries as of now, guys, because there's a lot of lag between the data. I'm looking at MT4 and it's bouncing around super heavily. This news here is super, super high impact. So, I mean, I wouldn't even think about taking trades around this point, but let me go and just update it right here. And the news was still loading. Let's refresh my FX book right here. So ISM was negative. Jolts was also negative. Or positive, actually. So Jolt's job quits. A lot of people quit for some reason. And then over here, there's a lot of openings. So, all right, just refresh this right here. ISM was neutral. Jolt's job openings, as I mentioned, they were forecasting it to be less. So like right here, you can see that It was 10.5 million, 10.05 million last month. This previous month that just happened was they were forecasting it to be negative, 9.75, and it was actually double. So, or not double, it was actually like one up higher. Reason for that is because, obviously I just mentioned seasonal jobs and stuff like that. But a bit of a mixed bag here between these different types of news events: neutral, positive, positive. ISA manufacturing prices also negative right here. So here we go. Is this huge gap in price. I don't know if you guys noticed this, but yeah, you should probably skip entering trades for a bit and wait for this to actually stabilize. Because again, right now, price is below here. At the sessions, you guys can see this huge gap. It's not a gap in price. So this is just a gap in data. So it looks like it's an empty space right here. But if you look at MT4, it's connecting. So this right here was just a big push down. We're traced up a little bit, and then now it's going sideways. But yeah, you should probably hold off for making any entries at this moment. Trading views, let me check the other data sets, because I don't know if it's just currency.com or if it's like in general. So let's see. No, Owanda's lagging too. Owanda's actually worse. So I'm looking over here at Owanda and I'm looking at FT. Well, I don't know which one's lagging, whether it's Owanda or whether it's MT4, because my MT4 is actually kind of freezing up now too. So they both look like they're lagging over here. Let me check. Let's see. Patricia said she uses Global Prime. I mean, they're both lagging. It doesn't make a difference. Yeah, because I can't tell what's lagging and what's actually moving real time, because MT4 looks like it's lagging too. I can't really tell. They're both moving like at different paces. This is moving at different pace. We looked at Global Prime. I looked at Owanda. I mean, this is moving at different pace too. If you guys look at all these different broker datas, I can't tell which one's actually accurate. Like Owanda here is super lagged. So I don't know if this is let me see. Yeah, Deswell said his MT4 is freezing now. Yeah, mine is too. Seth said only if we know that TradingView is ahead on time and MT4 is behind on time, that way to trade. I know, right? There's if you guys have been part of K2 for a while, you guys remember there's this, I don't know, a couple or like maybe one person that figured that out, Seth, actually. This was like before you were around. She figured out a way to like scam basically the funding companies, because she knew the funding companies were kind of laggy. So like TradingView was actually ahead of time, and she made like, man, how much money did she make? I know you were here, Patricia, you and there's a lot of you guys who were here, but she found an asset. She was trading like the ZAR or something. It was like some weird FX pair, but it was laggy on FTMO. Or Funding Talent or whatever one of those companies were. It was laggy on there, and then she was trading on TradingView, and dude, she made like so much money like overnight. And then they realized that she was they realized what she was doing, because she had the quicker data, and then they ended up just banning her, and she went like on this huge campaign to like say that they were scamming and stuff, but she was really doing the one that was scamming. It was crazy. Oh gosh, yeah. Patricia said she was trading the DAX. It was right before close. Seth said, how did they figure? It was because I think she was telling people about it and other people started doing it. So like what happened was a ton of people are making like a shitload of profit. And it was on their funded accounts too. So, obviously it started to look suspicious because there's so many people doing it. And then, yeah, they pretty much went back and they looked at the data and they're like, how did she know? Like, it was like she was from the future, she was like perfectly catching these trades where she was catching like these huge moves. And then other people started doing it, and obviously they're all trading this weird pair that nobody trades, and they ended up banning her. But yeah, it's crazy. It was funny because like there was a couple other guys in the group that were like super hard fanboys for like the those funding companies, and they were like basically snitching on her, and I was like, man, it was a mess. It was a fun time, but it was a mess. Yeah, Seth said she bought liquidity to the market. She brought liquidity to the market at the same exact time. Yeah, exactly. Because she had a head start. She probably had like maybe a 10-minute head start. She see price move, and then she would just look at FTMO, and then she would take the trade before it dropped. Like for example, here, see how this like spiked down? She was like ahead like a few minutes. So what she would do, she would enter a big short position, and then she would be like right to the T, like some Back to the Future stuff, right? Yeah, it was crazy. But yeah, if you guys see something like that, I don't recommend taking advantage of it because the funding companies will find out eventually. I mean, yeah, maybe do it every once in a while, lock in a couple of profits, but don't make it super obvious. Like don't lock in like 100K trade where you're gonna go on their radar, right? Don't lock in like I think she was locking in like 20K, 40K, like 60K a day, and I'm like, damn, they're gonna catch on because like how could you be so accurate for every single trade? And they're big moves. They're not like these small scalps that we're taking here. They're like 1,000 pip moves. Yeah, exactly. That's exactly. Keep it to yourself. If you see something like that, I mean, yeah, I'm not gonna say don't take advantage of it, but um, don't overdo it. Like, don't try to be a millionaire by like tomorrow. Because the thing is, if you find something like that, you can like basically pull like a couple of profits into the into your equity. Like, if you could lock in like a couple $1,000 a day, it's gonna go under the radar. But if you lock in like 10, 20, 30K a day and you never lose, it's definitely gonna go on the radar. All right, guys. So I know we're going kind of off topic, but there's nothing here to take. So I'm still looking for entries here. We have a sell momentum, but there's really nothing for us to take at the moment. Price is down here though, so we're looking for some high-low quick scalps. I'm not looking for any variations though, so that's like one thing that I'm not looking for because the direction of price isn't necessarily. I don't know if it'll hold down here. So let me check the 10-minute. I mean, obviously, price is super far down, so this is not bearish. This is probably bearish too. This just switched to bearish. 30-minute. 1 hour still bullish. So we're gonna leave these alone. 1 hour and 4 hours still bullish. So I mean, this can easily just shift back up. This is just like, I mean, it's a huge waterfall of movement here. But a lot of this stuff is based off the news. The news right here at 7 o'clock. So this is US news. And there just really isn't much for us to take right now. Yeah, exactly. Seth said, yeah, don't be a millionaire by tomorrow, be a millionaire in a couple months. Yeah, I mean, you guys will run into that stuff sometimes. I've noticed it myself too. Like if you look at TradingView sometimes, you'll see that the data will get kind of flawed. It typically doesn't happen with like the bigger pairs, or you're not going to see it with like US30. You're going to see it with like some random Forex pairs, like either the indexes over here, like AXY is like the Australian index, DXY is the dollar index. What else is here? EXY. Yeah, DXY. So this is basically what she was trading. What she was doing is she was applying the strategy over here, the intraday strategy. So you can see right here, there's a bunch of entries here that would have hit. That one would have hit. That one would have hit. That one would have hit as well. So just imagine having this, but having like a 10-minute advantage. So like if you knew price was going to come down and price was in massive drawdown, you could enter like at super high and then catch that right back down. Some nice entries right here for DXY. Let's go back to US30. There's like literally nothing here right now. I mean, there isn't even any market structure at the bottom right now. Yeah, there's no zones, there's no high low, there's like nothing down here because there's been such a huge gap. So this is where market opened at 6:30. You can see price faked out below, faked out above, came down super heavy. A news event right here dropped, news event again right here dropped. And this might be the correction back to the upside from this point. There's just nothing down here. There's no zones, there's no high lows. I mean, there's a low right there, but it's not something that you could take. All right. Thanks, Peter. Peter said we have news coming over here in 17 minutes. Let me check that real quick. Yeah, some low impact news right here at 7:30. We'll mark that up. And I think that's it for the day with regard to news. All right, solid. I'm gonna step away for 1 second, guys. I'm just gonna grab some water and I'll be right back. All right, guys, I'm back. Man, there's nothing going on here. There's no high lows being established. There's no momentum. I mean, price is pretty much just ranging down here right now, which is fine. I mean, for the most part, but there's not anything we can really act on. So like, here goes a zone for right now. Let's mark this up right here. So I was kind of hoping when I get back, price was actually going to move around, but there isn't really too much going on over here. Seth said, I'm glad it's doing its bearish push right now. It'll give us some room to play tomorrow and Thursday. Yeah, and I agree with you too, Seth, 100%. So Seth just mentioned that, he's glad that price is actually dropping. The reason for that is because for NFP, I'm expecting price to go up. Obviously, I don't think news is going to, economy's not doing well, but I'm expecting manipulation to push price up because if you look here on the higher time frame, you can see that price has to drop a bit, right? It's been up for like way too long. So here on the 4-hour time frame, price has been pushing up since October 13th. So October 13th right here, this is where the low is established. Price pushed super high from there. So from this point up, October 13th up to now, price is pushed up 43,460 pips. So it's pushed up a lot. I mean, it has to drop a little bit, especially until Friday. So Friday over here on the 4th, this is where NFP is. You know, hopefully price will come down, maybe fill this area right here. I mean, it's due to drop a little, at least a little bit. This will be like a 10,000 pip drop, 11,000 pip drop. From there, price will just shoot right back up on Friday. So it just gives us room to play around with, just like with what you know, Seth mentioned. So the drop here is fine. This isn't like, okay, we're going to a recession. Price has actually been pushing up for a long time. So it's due for some retracement. I mean, price is really just going sideways. If you look here on the 4-hour, price has actually been going sideways since Friday, October 28th. So it's been, you can see right here from like pretty much summer price was dropping super heavy. And then we enter fall season, price pushes up. It's due for some retracement before it chooses another direction. Let's see, Seth said it's interesting that sentiment dropped to 69% short. Some people are pulling profits or closing out their trades at a smaller loss. Exactly, Seth. I think people are cutting their losses right now, or people who kind of like bandwagon onto these moves are just, you know, pulling out a little bit, little by little. But it seems like a lot of the people are just cutting their losses because I think they're expecting the bounce to happen just like we are. So we'll just have to take it as is, but at the moment, there's just nothing for us to take. Nothing right here. There's nothing here at all. If you guys have any questions, feel free to put your questions in the chat. I know typically we don't have questions, we don't answer questions during the live session, but there's really nothing for us to take right here. I mean, price is just going sideways. Volatility's died down super heavy. Let me just measure the range right here to see how far price is even moving. Price is moving like 500 pips, which is nothing. I mean, each candle is probably moving less than 100 pips. Yeah, each candle is moving like less than 100 pips. In general, though, as a whole, you know, price isn't really moving at all. Yeah, there's just nothing going on here. So I'll put the strategies over here for you guys who are kind of new. So these are strategies we apply during the live sessions. So for one, we apply the variation V1 and V1 continuation. Variation applied during heavy trending markets. So this is one that we could actually apply right now if it does come up. SR rejection scalp applied during ranging market. And the high-low quick scalp applied during moderately. All right, so these are the main strategies that we apply. As you guys can see where price is currently moving. It went from a range, now it's moving kind of moderately trending. It's heavy, it's trending heavily down here, but we're not going to get any, you know, V1s or V1 continuations anytime soon, in my perspective. We might get a high-low quick scalp. So the main strategy that we're probably going to be looking for right now is going to be the high-low quick scalp, because you can see the market is trending like somewhat moderately. I wouldn't say it's a heavy trend. A lot of this movement happened because of the news. So I'm kind of just trying to make my way in here if we could. We're not going to have any SR rejection scalps because this is all based off the zones. The zones are way up here, so there's no zones for us to really And there's just nothing for us to take up there since price is way down here. The main strategy that we can look for is mainly going to be the high-low quick scalp. So depending on like what momentum we have right now, like right here, if we get a buy signal, then we're going to look for some lows. If we don't get a buy signal here, this could technically be a high-low quick scalp for a sell. Looks like it's probably going to close though, so we'll see. I probably won't even take the first one. I'll probably wait for it to establish, maybe lock in a few entries there. So this technically here could have been a high-low quick scalp, but I'm not going to take it. I'll follow it and see where it goes. This would not be an entry. What we're looking for is a wick rejection on top. I'm just going to follow it. I want to make sure the market is actually, moving directional before I take anything. But here is the quick scalp requirements. You're basically looking for a wick right here. There's no wick on MC4. There's no wick on here. And that's how you would determine your, your entry. So I'm not in this position here and I'm not going to take it, guys. I'm just going to follow it and see if it actually plays out. The thing is, I'm not really inclined to take any sells here. I want to take some buys. So I'm looking for price to actually swing to the other side. We'll just follow it to see if it actually plays out though. So it's like one thing we'll do here. So looking for a sell, see if this actually, all right. So this would actually be the entry point for it. Again, I'm not in this position, guys. We're just following it. So we're not in this position. We're just following it. And this is why you don't want to take it right away, right? So you can see how price just keeps going up higher. The reason for that is because we have overall buys for a buy here. So I'm looking for buys here. I'm not looking for any sells. I just wanted to mark it up to show you guys, what the possible entry would be if like it was in that direction. But we're not really looking for sells here at all. Now that we have a buy signal, this is even better because what I'm looking for at this point is I'm looking for price to push up, retrace, and continue up. When this retracement happens right here, this is where I'll be taking my entry for a high-low quick scalp for a buy. All right. I'm not looking to chase this here. Price is overextended for a sell. I wouldn't even take the sell even if it wasn't overextended. Obvious reasons. Overall bias here is still very bullish. 30-minute is bearish, but I think that can change. 1 hour is still bullish. So I do see a correction back to the upside. It's just going to be a matter of time. So we need a buy signal here in order for us to take a quick scalp to the upside. Something we don't have yet, but something that we are looking for. So the main thing for us here is we need a bullish momentum signal. Until we get that bullish momentum signal for a buy, we're not going to have any entries. The trend meter here is not really that important because the trend meter is mainly used for the SL rejection scalp. And there is no zones here. All the zones are up here right now. So not really relevant for us to follow. All right, so still no buy signal here. Let's see, Medusa, that's really interesting. I hadn't realized that I was still on a different broker on TradingView. The buy signal closed on the green candle that wicked off the session. Oh, this one right here, Medu. Which broker are you on? Might be on Black Bull. Oh, you're talking about this one right here. Okay. Yeah, I've never used Black Bull data before, so I don't know like how accurate it was, but I mean everything here is kind of screwed up, right? Yeah, there's no buys. There's even a, so the data on that one's like way different. Did you see that, Madhu? I just went and looked at it. So there's no sessions here, but on Black Bull, there's the sessions right there. It's weird. Let me go over here to Wanda. So Wanda is kind of similar to currency.com. There's also no, there's a buy signal right there, but there is no there's no momentum. I mean, there's no sessions right there. That's weird. I've never seen it this like super far off global prime. The sessions is there's a buy signal, but the sessions is not there as well. So I would go with these sessions versus the black bull one because it looks like the black bull one is like way off. Looks like more of the other one. The other ones here actually are a bit more accurate. Actually, the Pepperstone right here is down there as well. That's super weird. Yeah, I'm not gonna mess with it. I'll just leave it as is, and we'll see how this plays out. Yeah, I'm just gonna stick with currency.com because it's just the way that the market is kind of moving right here. It's a little confusing. I mean, either way, so if we had a buy signal right here, this would technically be an entry for a buy. I'm just gonna follow it. I'm gonna see if it plays out. Not like it's an actual entry because we're not actually taking it, but yeah, that one right there would have hit TP. So if you would have taken this on the other broker, which I mean, I personally wouldn't do that. I haven't tested it on other brokers, so I don't know if it's actually accurate on those. But for currency.com, that's the only broker I've tested it on. But yeah, I mean, either of those right there. Well, I mean, you still would have hit your sessions though. So if you're looking at this here, there was a low, and then you'd enter off this right here, but your entry would still cut into the sessions right there. Or I mean, you get really close. I mean, either way, it's weird market today, guys, in general. I mean, just to say the least, weird market because all the broker data here is kind of like all over the place. But it's all right. I mean, we don't base our trades directly off the momentum signal, so it's not a huge deal. But you know, obviously, we would have missed one entry there because the momentum was actually off this one. Yeah. Seth said, let's hunt for a broker that has a delay with their liquidity provider against TradingView and play with them. I know, right? That would be I mean, you guys would probably find one because if you look at all of these, like if you put them side to side, you'll see that at least one of them is a little bit delayed, even by like a few seconds or even by like a minute or so. That's the thing that you guys need to like understand about other brokers is that each broker is different. Yeah, exactly. Same here. Seth said he'd be happy with a minute because I mean, even if you're a minute quicker, you can like literally catch, you know, quick pushes. Like if you see price spike up on another broker, you can like literally just take a quick 100 pip move. Just by seeing it move around. The main thing that you would need though is you would need to find one that's like aligned with MT4, right? Or with FTMO. Because FTMO is really the one that you want to have the advantage over because that's where your entries are being made. So I mean, yeah, if you could like, I wouldn't say scam. If you could like maybe bag like keep a couple 100 pips here and there, I mean, you could easily lock in. I mean, it'll add up, right? Madhu said it's just interesting because the sessions show different, but it's almost like the market has been bouncing around the session on Black Bull and the other broker. Yeah, no, same here, Madhu. I agree. It is pretty interesting to see that it's that off, and then price is actually bouncing off, you know, that session off the other broker, which is like literally right here, right? Yeah, because the sessions are lower here. You know, I'm kind of curious. I want to like, I'm gonna go over here and put two charts next to each other. All right, so we'll do this. A little black bull next to it. So like they're moving at the same, yeah, they are moving at the same pace. And this one's actually, it looks like Black Bull is catching up to currency.com. Because you can see here that there's a sell signal, and this one actually has a sell signal too. So it looks like Black Bull might be a little delayed. I mean, I don't know. But you can see here that this one's having a sell signal and this one's actually catching up to it. Like this one kind of had a random buy signal here. But then this one's actually leading because this one provided the sell signal and this one's catching up to it. I mean, I don't know. I can't really. It's based off their data because the algorithms that I created, they're based off the broker data. So depending on what broker you go on, like Pepperstone over here looks like it's moving slower than currency.com. This is 8 cap right here. 8 cap is also, and 8 cap has like way tighter spreads. 8 cap is like at a 0.74. The spread here is like 3 points. Yeah, I don't know. I can't really tell. There's not like a huge difference. Like it's not enough to really make a big deal about it. The only difference here that I would probably be concerned about would be the sessions, right? That's the main thing because the session's like way down here. The price isn't even that off. Like this price here is about the same as this one. It's maybe off by like maybe a pip or so. But yeah, I don't know. We'll stick to what we're at. I mean, what we're using because we've tested it on here, and we'll just have to roll with it. But anyways, guys, there's no entries for us to take right now at the moment. If you guys have any questions, still feel free to put your questions in the chat. There just isn't anything going on. Gotcha. Mandy said she has 8 cap and she uses Hero FX, which she is still learning. I haven't heard of Hero FX before. I don't know. Let me see. I don't know. I've actually never heard of that broker before. Gotcha. That's where you do your live trading. Okay, cool. Yeah, I mean the brokers, I can't really say anything for the brokers. It's really just like, oh, that's cool. They're gonna allow you to trade through TradingView. Yeah, no, if you wanted to, I mean, you can use whatever broker you like. The thing that I would be careful about is whether they pay out, right? I think that's the main thing that you have to be careful about, especially with using a smaller broker. Because even with Hugo's Way, I had like no trouble withdrawing like smaller amounts. But when I started to withdraw like more than like 5,000, like when I try to close out my account, that's where I started to have some issues. Like it would take time for them to get the money out. So I mean, as long as you can withdraw and as long as they're not like scamming you, then I mean, go ahead and use whatever broker you like. But I would probably not use more than 5-10K like per unregulated account because your money could like literally disappear. All right, we had the news candle right here, 7:30. Sorry, I totally forgot about it. So we had news right there, 7:30 US news. That's kind of why I didn't really look to take any entries here. I did see that some of you guys looked at high-low quick scalp. This right here actually didn't fit the criteria, guys, because this entry came below the momentum signal. So I did notice that entry too, but I did see that price was below it, so that's why I wasn't looking to take it. That's going to be the fourth requirement. And the reason for that requirement is because, so the reason for that requirement is because you want price to, so price started right here, right? You want price to go up and continue like that, right? This is what you're looking for. If price comes below here, or price goes up and then comes below here, you know, odds of it pushing up are like a little unlikely, right? Because unless you start from down here, which okay, makes sense. It's kind of at a range from that point, right? So you're basically trading within the range, which is fine. I mean, you can trade within the range, but it's not really a directional push. And when you're applying the high-low quick scalp, you want to apply it when it's moderately trending, so that you can kind of just take it as price continues to push up higher and higher. So, you know, just an FYI, guys, it's fine if you guys took the trade and it hit, great, you know, awesome. But this is like one of the entries where, like I discussed during the mentoring session, and I discussed yesterday, there's a lot of these entries where if you take shortcuts and you it's fine. If it was an accident, it's fine. But when you start doing it purposely, that's where you start to like make mistakes and you start to lose trades, right? Making a mistake and just not seeing it, that's completely fine. You know, good thing that like the US30 gods are looking for you and let you hit your TP. But it becomes a bad habit when you do it on purpose, because I've done that before. Like I'll see entries like this and I'm like, oh, I still want to take it, and I'll take it and it'll hit. And then I'll just keep doing that and I'll lose a trade. And I'm like, crap, I skipped a step. And then you start to forget that you're actually skipping a step. So just the FYI, you know, moving forward for you guys. I know it's fun sometimes because you take the trade and then there's not an actual entry there, and then it hits your TP and you just want to keep doing it. But it's not a good habit to have. I could say from like firsthand experience, because I've lost a lot of trades that way, especially during Asia. So I don't trade Asia anymore at all for US30. That's kind of why I started trading Forex pairs again over here, because I'm just taking these trades for set and forgets, and then I'm taking the other ones for New York session. Let's see, Maddie said, yeah, he said not doing it again, didn't realize news price. Yeah, no, that's fine, Maddie. I didn't mark it up on the chart, so you wouldn't have been able to see it. Maddie said, what other trades do you use for 1020, or is it only for the quick scalp? I pretty much use it for everything now, Maddie. I use it for the SR rejection scalp as well. I still measure it at 300 pips to make sure that the candle is not too big, but my stop loss is typically at 200. So for basically all of these 1 minute entries, guys, my stop loss is now at 200. It's no longer at 300. I'm doing that to like minimize risk, because typically if price goes in a drawdown, you're probably going to lose the trade. If price goes straight to TP, which it usually does, you know, the stop loss doesn't really matter too much. So I've been doing 100 pip TP, 200 pip stop loss, and I've adjusted it over here as well on the on this here. So like TP 100, stop loss 200. Looking over here at the SR rejection scalp, same thing, 100, 200. So if you guys didn't sit in on the mentoring session yesterday, I do recommend you guys go back and review it. We went over every strategy here. So basically V1 continuation, SR rejection, high-low quick scalp. And then I also went over some specific things like pitfalls for people who are not able to find consistency with their trading. So you guys might want to watch that. And then also I think I covered a couple other things there as well. A lot of trade psychology stuff to help with. Deswell is asking, what is that in MT4? I mean, depends on your broker, Deswell. Are you using FTMO, or are you using let's see. Trying to see what you guys are talking about. Looks like Madhu said he missed. Were you looking to take this pivot scalp right here, Madhu? I'm trying to figure out which one you missed. I'm assuming it's this. There is a triple confluence actually. Damn, so I missed it. There's a triple confluence right here. Yeah, this is the one that Madhu was referring to. I just realized it was a triple confluence. So this thing happened like super quickly, but the candle was a little too big though. Oh yeah, the candle was way too big. So yeah, Patrick's right. I would have skipped this entry. But it was a triple confluence with like literally no drawdown. So if you guys are not familiar with the triple confluence, this is a strategy that comes up like every so often. It doesn't come up very often at all. So the triple confluence right here overall. Well, so one thing, there's a couple things here that don't align. Retail sentiment won't align with it, so you don't have an overall bias. So I wouldn't be taking this triple confluence here to begin with. But if you were to ignore that and you were to confirm a valid momentum signal, so the momentum signal here, price was below the pivots. There's a high low right here where price broke below. Pretty much all requirements would have been met aside from the first requirement. So again, right here is another thing where, it's showing that you could have taken the entry here and you could have gotten lucky, but at that point, you're going to start developing bad habits, right? That's the main thing that a lot of people need to realize. If you guys have listened to Trading in the Zone, I think I told you guys about that book. That book helps a lot with trade psychology. If this is your problem where you keep entering trades that are just not there, listen to chapter 6. Chapter 6, he's gonna like really break down this high that a lot of people get. A lot of people get this huge high off taking like random trades or taking trades with shortcuts. And then it becomes a bad habit because it's called like a boom and bust, right? You have a bunch of trades where you keep hitting your TP, taking these random trades. And then as soon as you lose one trade, you start to go into revenge trading because you just continue to make those bad trades. So you make one trade that, like say, for example, here, we had one high-low scalp right here, quick scalp that would have hit TP, right? But it wasn't an actual entry. And then Madhu over here called this one again, which was a triple confluence, but it wasn't an actual entry. Say you win these two trades right here, right? What happens is you keep making these same shortcuts on the next trades, and then you lose one trade, and then you lose another one, and then you just keep losing trades after each other until you blow your account. So, yeah, if you guys have not listened to, or if you guys have issues with trade psychology or consistency, I do recommend you guys listen to this book called Trading in the Zone by Mark Douglas. I think you guys posted in the group over here. I forgot who posted it. I think Jonathan posted it, right? Or you sent it to me. Yeah, this book right here, Trading in the Zone. So if you guys listen to this, I mean, even I listen to this audiobook almost like maybe every month or every 2 months, whenever my trade psychology is off. It helps you get back in line because it shows you that like, it basically makes you come to realization of the issues that you make with trading, which is what everybody has. I mean, it's everyone runs through the same issues. I mean, you guys can know like some of the best traders in the world and they still run into like trade psychology issues. It's really just bouncing back from it and coming back to ground. Yeah, Maddie said the audiobook's been super helpful. Been taking notes. Yeah, if you guys have Audible, it's like $10 or like 1 credit. It's something to just listen to throughout the day. I listen to it at the gym. I think it's relaxing. It lets me work out, but it also lets me like still think about trading without actually trading. We got another zone right here. So we've got a sell signal right here. There's still no entries, guys. So unfortunately, I mean, we've been watching these charts for a long time now today, and I still don't see anything here. And just looking back to all these entries here, we'll just like, kind of go backwards over here. So there's one entry right here that was a V1, but we would not have taken this trade here because the overall bias here is for a buy, right? So we're looking for buys here, or actually no, so we would have taken this trade. Sorry guys, I didn't even notice this earlier, but there was a V1 right here that would have been a buy. I don't know why we didn't take that. I don't know if anyone else noticed that there, but there was a V1 right here. Confirm overall buys. It was bullish, confirm the high low. Right there is a double body rejection. Pending momentum. This right here would have been a V1. Yeah, I don't know why we skipped this one. I didn't even see this one when I was following the chart. But this one right here would have been a V1 entry for a buy. And then there's no V1 here. No V1 there. There's no SR rejection scalps. There's no high-low quick scalps. So there was just one entry here that would have came up, which was a V1. Thanks, Sam. Sam here actually just confirmed. Sam said that there was no overall bias that was aligned at the time. So yeah, I'm assuming that was probably it. But yeah, this here would have been the only entry that would have came up today. So like just looking back from 6:30 up until now, there is no SR rejection scalps. There's no variations. There's no V1 continuations, no high-low quick scalps. The only entry here would be a possible V1. But Sam mentioned that this right here was a time when overall bias wasn't aligned. So it's getting close to 8, guys. I mean, unfortunately, we don't really have anything for today. Today's kind of a choppy day anyway, so it's not really a big deal. I think tomorrow will probably be a bigger day for us to just lock in positions. If you guys have any questions, feel free to put your questions in the chat. Just, going over the entries for today. There's nothing that we could have taken, even if we wanted to. Price is still dropping right here. So if you guys do want to take an entry, I think the next entry that could possibly come up would be a high-low quick scalp. We have price dropping right here. So what you're looking for is you're looking for price to come down slightly. We trace up and continue dropping lower from here. So this is basically what you're looking for. Looking for price to drop slightly, retrace, and then drop down further from that point. You could also find a possible V1 continuation, but I mean, even if we're looking for sells here, we're not really looking for it because the bias over here is still, you can check 30 minutes still bearish, 60-minute is neutral actually. So we'll see. I mean, if the bias starts to shift, then maybe sells here would be fine. But there really isn't much to take here. Let me go look down these Forex pairs real quick. If I see any entries here, I'll let you guys know so that we can both take them. For these entries here, I'm just setting and forgetting them though. So just keep that in mind, guys. For a lot of these entries, I'm just taking them and then I'm letting them run. This is my Forex.com account. This is my live account. You can see I'm up to 10,000. So I'm up to 10,735. This is my live account for Forex.com. Started with 10,000. I'm up almost 800 from like just 2 trades last night, which is not bad. I mean, these are just set and forget trades. I'm just, take them as I see them. I don't see any trades here right now so far. If I see anything here, I'll probably send out a signal. It's not going to be an official trade, but I'm just showing you guys that I'm taking it. So I don't see anything here so far. I'm looking for the momentum signals to match the trend meter. This one over here is already done. No momentum there, trend meter. So the Forex market isn't really trending too much right now, which is completely fine. If it's not trending, then great. I mean, not a big deal. Just gotta wait for this one already hit 2. Possible entry here. I mean, not now, but I'll follow it later. I don't really like the CHF pairs too much, but I'll follow it. If I see something good, then maybe I'll take it at some point. Possible entry there. I think this is based off news, so I'd probably skip that. Patrick is asking, you're running 5. No, Forex is way different, Patrick. You can't do any fixed TP stop loss for Forex. Each Forex pair here is like way different. If you compare like UJ here, so see how this moves like 100 pips from the swing. You compare this to like NZD CHF. This thing moves like 20 pips from the spread. So it's Yeah, this is just the intraday strategy. So it's the original intraday strategy. So like say, for example, here, this is the entry that I took, right? So this is the one that I took last night. This happened, I don't know, around lunchtime. So basically for this one right here, also the trend meter is set to so I'm trading off the 1 hour, right? 1 hour time frame. Trend meter is set to 30-minute, 1 hour, 2 hour, and 4 hour. This is so I know what's going on short term, what's going on for my time frame, what's going on long term. So if I see a sell here or a buy here or sell whatever on the 1 hour, I know that price is going to continue that direction for at least a couple hours. So trend meter settings are set to 30, 60, 120, 240. And I'm just looking for this to match, right? Looking for the trend meter here to match the momentum. So again, right here, another one. And what I do is I round it up. So for example, right here, if it's at 48, I'm going to round that up to 50. Right. And same with this entry over here. This is the one that I actually took. It's right there at 45, 45, 45. Basically let the trade run. And you can see this one over here hit full TP. And this one over here also hit full TP. So super simple. I basically round it to the 5. So if it's like, say, for example, here, if this was like 42, then or 43, I'll round it up to 45. If it's at like 49, I'll round it up to 50. If it's at like 41, I'll round it down to 40. Just round it to like a whole number. I think that makes it a little better, give you a bit of some leeway as well. So I don't see any Forex pairs here for some entries. If I see any, I'll mark them up. And I'll send out like an unofficial signal so that you guys can take it too. But yeah, this is my personal account right here. I started with 10,000 of my own money. You can see my name right here. So this is not a demo account. It's like it's my actual account. I'm just taking a 3% risk. So whenever I take a trade like this, so the thing that I like about TradingView and Forex.com is I can enter a sell here. And when I enter my trade, like say, for example, my TP stop loss is 50 pips, right? I set my risk over here at 3%. This is how much I'm risking per trade, 322. So it's 1-to-1. This strategy has a very high win rate. So as long as I take every trade, I could eat whatever losses come my way. I'm still risking 3%. Doesn't matter what pair I'm trading, whether it's odd USD, odd NZD, GU, GJ, whatever. I'm still going to be risking about the same amount. So as long as I win more than I lose, there's no problem because I'm going to be in profit at the end of the week, end of the month, end of the year. Yeah, I mean, this is what I'm using just for my Forex. So, and that's basically outside of the US30 trades that I take during New York session. So there's nothing really going on here, guys. If you guys can see, there was an entry right here. So the same setup that I just drew, there was actually an entry right here, but we couldn't take it because it was right at the sessions. So you see how the high came up right there? The entry would have been off this candle over here, but unfortunately it was right at the session. So we couldn't take that trade, but it would have hit its full TP right there. So unfortunately, no entry off that. There's still nothing here right now. And I think for the moment, that's about it. If you guys have any questions, feel free to put your questions in the chat. Otherwise, unfortunately, today, there's no entries for us to take. I mean, we look back at the charts for today. There was only one entry that came up, which is right here. It was a V1 variation. I was looking for a high-low scalp right here, but we have the session right here, so we can't even take anything if we wanted to. We need price to get away from this area right here. And looking over here at the fundamentals, they're now in the red. So fundamentals are now down 158 points. Sentiment is now at 68%. So we might see a shift in direction. I mean, who knows? It doesn't really matter to us too much because, I mean, we could take trades in either direction, but it's going to be a little more tricky because we don't really have a direction to be trading in. So if price continues to move in this direction, then I expect it to possibly drop until maybe Thursday. And then by Thursday, price might be making its way back the other way. You can see from right here perfectly clear, it was in a downtrend. Yep. So you guys can see right here, prices, obviously been in a downtrend all day today. So pretty straightforward direction for today. I wouldn't say straightforward movement because a lot of this movement happened based off news. So if you look at any of these big candles right here, a lot of the continuation here was based off news. Big candle right here, that was a news event. Big candle right there, news event. And then again right here at 7:30. News pretty much just pushed price down. So what you might see after the 8 o'clock time cutoff right here is you might see a correction back to the upside. Correction back to opening price. But yeah, I think this might be a bit about it for today, guys. Unfortunately, there was no entries to take today. I made profit off my Forex pairs, but I mean, that doesn't make a difference for you guys because we're still looking for entries here off of US30 for the live sessions. That's why I'm going to share some of my Forex pairs with you guys if I do see something. But right now, there just isn't anything for us to take. We have a current sell signal that's pending right here. If this becomes a case and price continues to drop lower, then, great. If that becomes the case, then we can possibly catch it continue. So you might be able to see this drop a little lower and then continue the pattern even lower from that point. So here goes, price drops down. But it's 7:58. Typically after 8, you start to get this weird movement in the market. So I'm not looking to take anything. If you guys have any questions, feel free to put your questions in the chat. Otherwise, I think we'll be wrapping this up pretty soon. I'll probably hang on for a little longer, see if we can catch maybe just one entry. But just from the looks of it, I think this might be a risky time to take some trades just because of, the current movement for today. But we'll see. I'm looking for another high-low scalp if it could come up. Guess we could hang around for a bit. Looks like some of you guys posted some profits. So looking over here at Seth, Seth's currently up 7,448 for the day. Nice work, Seth. He took all the buys here in the direction of price. So great work right there, Seth. Looks like he took those a little earlier on open. So great work right here, Seth. Total profit of 7,448. Looking over here at Kenny, he took a buy earlier as well this morning off the breakout, or not breakout, but just an earlier buy. Total profit of 305 for the day. So great work right there, Kenny. Some more profit over here from Scotty. Scotty over here locked in a total profit of 3,743 for the day. Looks like he took trades in both directions, which is great. Good to see that you locked in some pretty good profit there so far. And then we got Seth over here now currently up 12,260. So nice work right there following your bias. Looks like you're just waiting for price to, make it swing back up, which is perfect. Solid work right there, Seth. Some more profits over here from Cameron. Cameron's currently up 1,908. Pretty good profit. Looks like he took a couple of sells pre-market, and then you took a buy right here at 728. Nice work right there, Cameron. It says the Fed would like to see the ratio of vaccines to unemployed workers decline. Some like COVID news. CSIC over here up 54,748 for the day. Crazy. Took these big trades off. Nice. He took the Euro NZD trade that we looked at. So he took the same trade we looked at earlier. Made 22,000 off that. Huge move. So great work right there, Sisu. Man, I'm kind of tempted to take these Forex trades on my on my FTMO. David over here as well. I see small profits on a crazy market, locked in 34.17 right there. So nice work, David. And then again, right here, he said MT4 lagging badly, so he's done for the day, locked in a total profit of 51 for the day. Nice work, David. Kenny again over here, 305 for the day. Nice work, Kenny. And I think that's about it for now. If you guys have profit to post up, feel free to post them up. Just a reminder, we haven't taken any official trades today. So, I mean, this week's been kind of flat, Monday, Tuesday. Typically, if the market moves like this, it'll probably pick up tomorrow. So if NFP is usually pretty kind of all over the place on Monday, Tuesday, usually it picks up Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. I mean, Friday's going to be the craziest day, but Wednesday usually it picks up, volatility picks up, starts to move a little smoother. And then Thursday, same thing before NFP on Friday. So just keep in mind that this is one of the riskiest weeks to trade every month. It's the first month of the first week of every month where NFP is released. If you guys are not familiar with NFP, NFP stands for non-farm payroll. Basically, it's going to release all the economic news or economic projections for the rest of the month, plus the unemployment rates. So looking over here at the news, we had some inflation news today. That's what caused a lot of those big drops. Right here, we had final manufacturing PMI, ISM manufacturing PMI, JOLTS job openings. Tomorrow, we have some more news. Pre-market ADP non-farm employment change. This is going to indicate how many jobs have changed for NFP. Then we have a Fed date tomorrow as well. We have the Fed statement, federal funds rate, FOMC press conference, just a bunch of inflation stuff, economic news for the upcoming recession, and updates regarding, regulations that are going to combat that. Thursday, we have some more news here, unemployment claims, non-farm productivity, labor cost, trade balance, final services PMI, ISM services PMI, some more inflation news. And then Friday, of course, NFP. So we got a lot of news still coming. I think today was just a little warm up for the rest of the week. Yesterday was kind of dead. Today, there's some movement, but a lot of the movement was based off news. So other than that, the market's pretty flat right now. It's not really doing anything. It's 803 right now, and prices between these two sessions. This is the New York low, and this is the London low. So due to the circumstances and the market conditions, I think I'm just going to wrap it up for the day, guys. There's not really much for us to take here. This is another one of those days where, you should probably just sit out of the market. The one thing that a lot of people need to understand is that there's days where you should sit out of the market, and there's days where you should act on the market. Today's not one of those days to act on, because you can see how price dropped over here. So again, I marked up these areas here where price dropped, right? This is all based off news. So the thing with price where it's currently at right now is that price can make a correction back to the upside. Once we go into it, like the middle of the session, price may correct back up to cover this big drop that happened based off news. So I think the first target area for price to reach is going to be right here. This is the first target area. Second target area is going to be right here. Third target area is going to be right here, opening price. So if you guys are looking for price to push up, I mean, these are areas to look out for, right? Basically, just look at where news came down from. And that's basically where a lot of people enter trade. So like, for example, if people entered a trade right here, say they entered kind of late, right there, their stop loss is going to be somewhere around here, right? And, people typically go for a 1-to-2 ratio, right? So if you're looking at an entry right there, yeah, people are probably in profit. But if it does reverse back up, this is where the stop losses are going to be sitting. So whenever you guys analyze entries or positions, the main thing that you guys should be looking for is where people place their stop losses, right? Because that's where liquidity is sitting. If people enter a sell right here, their stop losses are going to be around this area. So when price reaches this point, I mean, this is typically what you're going to see happen here. If price does, if and when it does reach this point, it'll break through it, retest, continue up higher, retest, continue up higher, retest, and fully reverse, right? This is like basically the pattern that you're looking for. Liquidity sitting right there, liquidity sitting right there, and right there. If it wipes out all the liquidity, this is going to be the target endpoint for it to reach. Because when price reaches this point, it's going to come back to where it was earlier, right? So if you look over here, let me just zoom out a little bit. See how price dropped right here? This is where the range is actually at. So it's going to pull back into this range. So I think this visualization will help you guys understand, why I'd be wary about taking trades here, because this big drop here happened based off news. And if price does correct back up, it's going to correct back to where it was earlier, which is up here. So let's see. Maddie said no 10-minute, or Madhu said no 10-minute daily yet, right? So let me see. Yeah, so there's still no daily entry here. So like Madhu said, if you get a daily entry here, buy signal, it's probably going to push up and it's probably going to hit, because that's going to be the daily entry if and when it does come up. So that might be something to look out for. I mean, if you guys want to take the daily, I think it'll probably push up if it does come up at some point, because price is overextended right here. It's due for retracement. It retraced up a little bit right here, but it's due for an actual real retracement to the upside. So, all right, guys, it's 8:07 right now. It's way past 8. So it's, the cutoff for our analysis and entries for today are done. Price is not really doing much right now. It's kind of just going sideways, but my markup over here is kind of what I expect happening. So I expect it to swing back up and reverse to the upside. And then if we get a daily entry over here, if you get a buy signal, then it'll probably flow with the direction that we were aiming for to the upside. So no problem, Andy. But if you guys have any questions, feel free to email me, Sean@KodiKaiTrades.com, or message me on Telegram. But other than that, I think you guys should probably sit tight, conserve your capital for the rest of the week. We still have a whole week ahead of us. So it's only Tuesday. We have Wednesday, Thursday, Friday ahead of us. So even though you didn't take any trades yesterday or didn't take any trades today, don't FOMO into any trades, because the last thing you want to do is dig yourself a deep hole and then have to recover, towards the end of the week. So other than that, we're going to wrap it up, guys. If you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out. Otherwise, we'll be back here tomorrow, same time, same place, for the next live session as we take on Wednesday, November 2nd. So have a great rest of the morning, guys. And